talked a lot the last few years just about legacy and what that sort of means long term.
Can you re-say? I didn't hear it in the
Yeah,
beginning.
I mean, you've talked a lot over the last couple of years just about legacy and what that means long term. I mean, to win three titles in 6 years here in LA, what would that sort of mean for you?
I mean, everything for me is obviously, we play the game to win a World Series, but that's doing pretty well if you can win three titles in 6 years. And obviously my end goal, a goal of probably everyone is to be in the Hall of Fame one day, and so I think that definitely helps the case.
What do you think sort of defines a dynasty, and do you think that winning 3 and 6 would kind of qualify for that for you guys?
I don't know. I've never really thought about dynasties. I think just because I'm in it, so I know how hard it is, and I know, um, I just don't really think about dynasty. So I don't know really what kind of what it consists of. But I mean, I guess if you're thinking about going to the postseason and obviously having a chance to win World Series is year after year, I mean, I guess that would kind of qualify as some type of dynasty. But I don't know what it takes to that calls it that. So I'm just going to enjoy being in whatever moment we are now.
Thanks, Mookie.
Next question is from Bill Plinkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Mookie, you guys have got a little 6 day break here again. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but would you agree that it affects hitters more than pitchers to have that layoff?
I would say so. Yeah, definitely. I think the timing aspect, the flow of the game. It's not necessarily just hitting. It could be just simple ground ball, simple just rhythm and timing and plays and whatnot. I think you can only get through games.
So, what did you guys do differently last year and this year after struggling with that in 23?
I don't think we really can do much different. I think it's just understanding that there is a little lag time, but just knowing how to go about it, throughout a game. I don't think there's not like a magic formula that we created or another team created that makes you come out firing on all cylinders. I think the only real thing is experience, and experience meaning game experience. And so, going 5 or 6 days, you're gonna lose a little bit of that, but I think everything will be all right.
Miggy mentioned yesterday that it's coming at a different time this year, and that maybe that'll make it easier to absorb as opposed to at the start of the postseason. Make sense to you at all?
Yeah, definitely. I've never had a break, right before the World Series. So yeah, he is right. It is coming at a different time. Obviously, we don't know how it's going to affect us until we know how it affects us. But I think we're all locked and loaded and ready to go, and we know we've played some, so um, we should be okay.
Thanks, Mookie.
Next question is from Kirsten. Go ahead, Kirsten.
Hey, Mookie. First, kind of like a random question, but considering you guys have obviously been in the World Series a lot, but is there an excitement or just now knowing you guys are playing, is there kind of just a different feeling heading into this now week?
Yeah, I think everybody's excited, but I don't think anybody's like too excited. I think everybody's like locked and loaded. I think everybody's ready to go. We know that we have a task at hand, and we're excited for the opportunity of winning a World Series, and then the opportunity of winning back-to-back World Series, which is a whole nother story. But we all know like that all is not important right now. We have to focus on winning the first game Friday.
And now knowing that you guys are playing the Blue Jays, you saw them relatively later in the regular season in August. What just kind of makes them so challenging? How valuable is that experience of seeing them on the back on the post or in the regular season, excuse me, prepare you guys just for this upcoming series?
Seeing them during the season is, it doesn't matter about right now. So that's all kind of irrelevant. But I mean, they pitch, they hit, they play defense, they kind of do everything well. I mean, you don't make it to the World Series on accident. So that means you're playing your best baseball at the right time. And so we just have to play our best baseball at the right time. I mean, that's really all we can control. And That's all we can do. And so I think we'll just use this break to, like I said, to get ready, and everybody should be ready to play their best baseball.
Thank you.
Next question is from Jack Harris. Go, Jack.
Hey Mookie, going back to like what you're saying about guys not being like too excited in this week, like for you, how different is it when you're playing in the World Series for the fourth time compared to like, what it felt like that first year you went with the Red Sox, and just kind of how the experience of getting this deep into the postseason, so many years kind of helps you and the team right now as you guys get ready for this week?
Yeah, I remember the first time when you're going, you're just excited to be in the postseason. You don't know how long it's going to last. Um, you don't really have any expectations on anything. I want to say is that you're there and you want to win, but you don't really know what it takes. And so now, going back and over again, you kind of learn what it takes to get to the next step, and how hard it is. Sometimes you learn how to weather certain storms. There's just a lot that kind of goes into winning in the postseason, playing in the postseason, that you wouldn't know when you're young. So I think all of us now that most of us have some experience in the postseason, we use that to our advantage, and we can kind of stay even keel.
And then on the opportunity to win a third title, Miggy was saying the other day, like at points this season that, guys would maybe mention that of like, hey, we have, we're not just playing for this year, but the opportunity to do something really meaningful in the big picture too. Like how much have you kind of felt that during this year, and kind of recognized, for as locked in as you guys have been on trying to win this year, also, kind of sensing this opportunity to create this kind of legacy, bigger picture for the franchise?
I mean, yeah, once your team signs Shohei, and then you sign Yoshi, and then you sign Roki, you go get guys. I mean, that kind of lets you know where the team is. We want to win, and we want to win a lot now. And so, um, knowing that and understanding that you can kind of look up and know that the window you're in is really important, and you really really would need to win now. And we understand that, but we also understand that in order to do that, you have to take it one day at a time. You got to just win one at a time, and then eventually you look up. That's a good team approach. We just kind of do our thing offensively. If we get the hits, cool. If we don't, cool. But we have to just understand that we have to continue to play our game and do what we do. But there's no formula to it. I mean, you have to be able to win 3-1 games, just like you have to be able to win 10-9 games. And so you never know which one's going to come, but you got to be ready for whichever one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mookie. Freddie Freeman will be available here in 3 minutes.
To win titles, three, if we win this one, 3 in 6 years to the Dodgers. I mean, it's like you're looking at obviously the Yankees, but then you have the Giants in the early 2010s, 3 in 5 years. Just winning one is hard. So dynasty, I think if you can get 3 in a matter of 5 to 6 years, I think I guess you could say it is one, but I think it's the sustained winning that the Dodgers have done for so long. And then obviously to cement them with some championships. I think, yeah, I guess you can call this if we do it, a modern day dynasty.
And then when you get to play in the World Series repeatedly, like does the anticipation in the days leading up to it, or the excitement you feel, like does that change at all? Does any part of it ever feel like routine at all anyway?
No, no, not at all. Like getting to the World Series is what we all dreamed about as kids, and to you never know how many you're going to get to, or if it's going to be the last one. And there's so many Hall of Famers that didn't even get to win one or even get to one. So it's not routine. I'm excited. We have an inter-squad game today. Going to get our work in tomorrow, fly, and just we're ready for Friday. So I'm excited to get going. Having 5-6 days off, it's just, I wish the days would just go faster so we can get to Friday sooner.
Thanks, Freddie.
Yep.
Next question is from Kirsten. Go ahead.
Hey, Freddie. So we were just talking to Mookie about, you guys saw the Blue Jays in August. Can you take any of that information to prepare for this series, or is it just a totally different kind of matchup, different circumstances due to the stage you guys are on, the World Series, and also just kind of the highs of the postseason?
Yeah, I think there's not going to be much you can take away from a couple months ago. The only thing is if you face certain guys more, like just over time, you're not facing the American League as much as you do with obviously the National League. So facing their high leverage arms, it's not the same. So you can almost kind of just it's two different things really, and the intensity, the heightness of the postseason, the World Series, and I think it's just kind of a little bit different. So I mean, but like a lot of us have faced like Kevin Gausman, Schurz, and we haven't faced Bieber in a couple of years because he was hurt. So I mean, there's just, and then obviously they're young rookie that we've never faced before. So there's just some things that you would wish you would have faced them a little bit more, but you don't have that luxury. So I think it's just kind of a whole different thing. And but again, it's the World Series and it's exciting and we're looking forward to it. But I don't know if you can take much from something that was 2 months ago.
The last time that we were in Toronto, I got to sit down and have a conversation with your dad and just learning more about your mom growing up in Canada.
Yeah.
For you to be able to play in the World Series, it's of course starting in Toronto.
Yeah.
I know you're playing for the visiting team, of course, but is this something that's going to be special for you and your family, do you think?
Yeah, my dad is obviously gonna head out there tomorrow as well, so it's gonna be pretty special, and I'm not so sure the Canadian fans, Blue Jays fans, will be cheering for me this time around like it was in the WBC the last couple of times, but it is special. Both my parents are born and raised in Canada, especially in the province of Ontario. My mom from the Toronto area, dad from Windsor, so it is special. Every time I go there, it just kind of, you just have this like feeling inside that you feel just a little bit closer to my mom. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Every time I go there, I always get this little envelope in my locker, and it's always like pictures of like a third cousin has found photos in their garage, and they bring them to me. So I love going back to Toronto. It's a special place for obviously my family and I, and every time I go back there, I feel a little bit closer to my mom. So I'm looking forward to getting there tomorrow.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Freddie. Andrew likes to talk about the quality of life being better when the starting rotation is as reliable and good as your guys have been.
Yeah.
How different does it feel from last year when maybe the offense was expected to do more, the bullpen had to carry the load? This year, it's all that starting pitching.
Yeah, I think it's what's so great about this organization. It's back-to-back years, and it's winning kind of different ways. We had Walker, we had Jack, and we had Yoshi rolling last year in the World Series, and this year we got pretty much 4 number ones healthy going into it, and that's special. I mean, just kind of like how we were about 5-6 weeks ago, a month ago, like going into the season, the regular season, we were just trying to piece it together, waiting for Blake to get back off the IL, getting Shohei's innings built up, but it was just kind of all in flux. And now everyone's kind of clicking and rolling at the same time. And as an offense, you have so much confidence in those guys that just keep matching zeros or throwing the zeros up where we can, get going. And, because we're all facing the best pitching in the game right now. You're not making it to the World Series without great pitching. So you're not going to be scoring and putting up massive amount of runs. So when you have a starting rotation like we have that are throwing the zeros, that are only giving up 1 run like we have been, it helps as an offense. You just want to give run support as much as you can, and we've done it differently the last couple of years, and we're kind of counting on our starting pitching again in the World Series.
All right, let's hit the narrative.
Okay.
How difficult is a 6-day break at this point in the postseason?
I don't think it's difficult. We're facing lives. We faced lives the last 2 days. We got an inter-squad game today. Obviously, the intensity is different than playing in Game 6 and Game 7 like Toronto did, but we're getting our work in. We're excited. I don't think having a 6-day layoff is gonna affect us. I would say we didn't hit that much in the NLDS, and we did okay in the NLCS. So maybe the 6-day layoff is gonna make us hit better.
Have you learned anything since 23 when the layoff seemed to really hurt?
Yeah, I mean, but we had a layoff last year and we won the World Series, so we crushed that narrative, Bill.
Thanks, Freddie.
Yeah.
Next question's from Kerry Osborne. Go ahead, Kerry.
Freddie, just how difficult is it to score in the postseason? Obviously, the pitching is a lot better, but from your perspective, how much difficult is it from postseason to regular season?
It is difficult. I think you see it in the postseason all the time, pretty much every year. It's usually the walk, a bloop, and then someone blasts a 3-run home run. It's very hard to go against number ones and number twos because you're not facing the 4-5 or the guy that comes in the 6th inning where you have like a 4-run lead where they're trying to save bullpens. Those guys aren't coming in. So you're facing high leverage and ones and twos the whole time. And to string 3-4 hits together in one inning in the postseason is extremely hard to do. So that's why you got to work the walk. You got to go first to third. You got to do the little things when you can. So I think we've just done a really good job of playing great baseball the last 3 rounds that we've been in, and then obviously getting the clutch home runs here and there. And I think it's the name of the game for us this postseason has been our pitching. So as an offense in the NLCS, I thought we did a really good job of just manufacturing some runs, tacking on here and there. It's extremely hard to do in the postseason when you're facing 1s, 2s, and 3s and high leverage the whole time.
Got time for a couple more. Go ahead, Fabian.
Yeah, Freddie, obviously so much was kind of made against the Phillies and Brewers just about how many lefties you guys were going to see. There aren't quite as many lefties on the Blue Jays, but what sort of stands out about that pitching staff and the kind of challenges that they present?
Yeah, I think you got it. Well, the one challenge is we're going to face a guy that no one's ever faced before, and they're a young rookie. I think his name's Trey. I don't even know how you say his last name, but facing a guy with that kind of release point and stuff that you haven't faced is always difficult. Then you got Shane Bieber, who is really, I mean, he's one of the best pitchers before he got hurt, and he looked really good in the postseason so far and since he's come back. And then obviously you got Kevin Gausman, and then Scherzer. So they're just reliable guys and a guy that they're leaning on now, and they're a young rookie, and then they're high leverage. You got Louis Barlin, you got Sir Anthony in there, you got Hoff, and then they got Little and I think Fluharty too. So they can match up differently. They got righties that can go against our left-handed hitters too that they trust. So it's just a good team, just a really good team that is put together well. They're swinging the bats well. So I think it's just going to be a really good series.
Next question is from Ron Kavner. Go ahead, Ron.
Hey, Freddie, obviously you had the huge World Series last year, and you have guys like, Kike who've kind of built this reputation as October players. I'm just kind of curious, do you think there's kind of anything to that there's certain maybe players who are built better for this time of year who can handle this kind of pressure this time of year, if there's anything to that?
I mean, I think for me, I could tell you the first postseason game I ever had, my knees were shaking and going in, and then obviously as the years have gone on, you just get more experience and you just realize that obviously there's more cameras, there's more people watching, but you realize that it's just the same game. And once you can get over the nervous energy, I guess you would say, it kind of slows down. And I think that's just experience, but the guys that have never experienced it and do well right away, I don't, because that wasn't me. I remember my first one in 2012. My knees were shaking. I struck out my first at bat. It's a different level. It's the excitement, all the work you've gone on that you put in your life, and then obviously when you're in the big leagues in the off seasons and spring training and throughout the year, you finally get there. You just want to do so well, but for me and us, we've had so much experience in the playoffs that I think we're able to curve it and just put our emotions and just be able to put it out on the field and have a good postseason. But Kike, I wish I could answer that, because I wish I could take what he has and just put it all in like into the postseason, because he's been so good. It's just so different from regular season to postseason, but he's so good, and I wish we had a magic formula so we can give it to everybody else, but I think that's just Kike.
Last one's from Bob Nightingale. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, Freddie, with your Canadian roots playing for that, WBC with Canada, what was your feeling last night just watching that whole country go crazy with the Springer home run and seeing Vlad Guerrero, crying after the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's special. I mean, when you have a whole country that's, behind one team, that's pretty amazing. And then obviously what they've done, they've invested in their team, into that stadium, the visiting clubhouse they've redone. So they've put a lot into the Toronto Blue Jays, and to just see the city come together and get to experience so much jubilation that they had yesterday going to the World Series for the first time. I think it was 30 plus years. So, it's an exciting time, and obviously, my family being from Canada, it's pretty cool, but Vladdy's had an amazing postseason so far, and everyone's Springer's home run. It's just stuff that that they won't forget, and I think it's just going to be a really good World Series. So looking forward to it.
Thanks, Freddie. Thanks, everybody.
For the first two games, and you've had a veteran group all year long. You've been with them for a while now. How have you been able to not allow your voice to just become white noise, and even when things were not going their best this year, to find a way to get the best out of those guys?
You know what, David, I think we're going to run the same rotation back, I think, for sure, for the first two, Snell and then Yamamoto, and we'll see kind of from game 3 and game 4. Yeah, you know what, I think it's one of those things that they know me pretty well. I've learned to know them pretty well. We have a lot of the same people that have been together for quite some time. And with that, you learn kind of how to, ultimately get the best out of them at certain points, and when to push them and challenge them, and when to give them some latitude and some grace. I think there's a complete trust with me and the players, and our goal of winning a championship has never been in question. But yeah, I think for me, it's like, and you see it firsthand. There's times I give guys freedom and like I said, grace, because the game's hard. It's a long season, but there's other times where I get to be a little bit more stern in my messaging and expectations, when I feel the time's right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question's from Kerry Osborne. Go ahead.
Dave, obviously, you have a very veteran group, guys who've been through these wars, but Mookie and Freddie in particular, just how much does their experience mean to this club in the postseason?
It means a lot. First off, they're two of the highest character people you'll ever come across, and they're both great teammates. They're both, very, very good workers. They both value the little things in the game. And so it's just hard not to follow that path of those two players. And then you layer in on the experience of postseason, be able to kind of manage your heartbeat and be the guy in the right spots in the biggest of spots. So I'm very fortunate to have those two players on our roster. They make my job a lot easier.
Next question is from Sonia. Go ahead, Sonia.
Hey Dave, we talked to Tanner Scott yesterday and just wanted to know how's he feeling and how close is he to being an option for the World Series roster?
It's good to see Tanner continuing to throw pens, and it's just kind of trying to get a grasp on the doctors giving him the full kind of green light the go ahead. So I really today I can't answer that question. I know that he's anxious, which is a good thing. But I think fortunately, we get to see for a couple more days, how he responds to throwing and bullpens and things like that.
And in addition to, possibly Tanner, do you anticipate your bullpen looking much different this series? There is kind of that added challenge of some power hitting righties with the Blue Jays that you haven't had to um, counter so much in the other series.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we're still kind of in talks. You know, there's one spot I think that we could potentially kind of debate, and we'll continue to debate, but we haven't made a decision. But it's going to look, obviously, outside of that one spot, it's probably going to look exactly the same.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question's from Bill Plinkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Dave, how much more comfortable are you with the 6-day break this year compared to the breaks the last 2 years?
I think actually much more comfortable. Even after the game 4 win, we're flying out tomorrow, which sort of breaks up the monotony of not playing. We took the 1 day off, but the guys are active. The guys feel good. I do think that there were some guys that were nursing some things, so to get us back to full health. But actually, we got a simulated game, another one tonight, so I feel good about kind of the guys' focus and playing. And yeah, Bill, we'll be ready to go on Friday. Feel good about it.
The breaks seem to affect hitters more than pitchers. Is that a good thing that you're relying on your starting pitching then?
Yeah, I do think that's the case. But I will say that we've got this traject machine in the cage that guys are taking a lot of at bats off of, so to get familiar with different pitchers and keep their timing. And it's not live, but it's pretty good simulation on top of the simulated games that we're playing with each other. But yeah, having the pitchers kind of fresh and frisky, going into this World Series is a good thing.
Going back to spring training with this idea of doing something that hasn't been done in 25 years, how much of your message was that in spring training? And do you bring it up over the course of the season at all?
I haven't brought it up in the season. I brought it up, I think, on the first day of spring training and haven't talked about it since. I think it's one of those added pressures that I don't think that I want to take on. I don't think our players need to take on. So I think for us, it's kind of, being in the moment, taking care of business. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the season, then you can look back. But right now, the only focus is winning game 1 and winning 4 more games here.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question from Dylan Hernandez. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. With Yamamoto, it seems like he's developed a very close relationship with his interpreter, Hero, over the last couple of years. And I was just kind of wondering, what you could maybe tell about Yamamoto's character, just maybe the way he treats Hero, maybe not just Hero, but also, a lot of the team's like support staff.
Fantastic. I think Yamamoto is quite the gentleman, quite the high character. He's a great worker, knows what he wants to do, what he needs to do to get ready. And he treats everyone from Hero to myself to all the support staff with the highest of respect.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from John Chidley-Hill from TSN. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for making the time today. Really appreciate it. We just had Freddie speak to us, and he was saying that he's expecting a rough ride from his fellow Canadians when he's in Toronto. Is he the kind of player that gets affected by booing and jeers that are so directed at him that when he gets singled out, or is he the kind of guy that's just going to shrug it off and focus on the task at hand?
Well, he doesn't get bothered by boos. I'm just a little confused why, where he praises his country of birth and, Has played for the Team Canada. And so, he was traded here. So yeah, he's a baseball player, loves the US, loves Canada. He's a heck of a player, person, even better person. But yeah, I don't know what the Blue Jays fans have in store for him, but I don't think he'll be fazed by it.
They gave Josh Naylor a rough ride during the last series too, so it's not particular to Freddie. It's they'll just single out other Canadians, I
So
guess.
other Canadians that don't have a choice to where they play. Got it. Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. Then I guess that Freddie is not singled out, so I got no problem with it.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for
Thank
your
you.
Next question from Fabian. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, just go back to the championship talk. I mean, Mookie and others have kind of talked about like legacy a lot, and you've kind of brought that up about some of your stars being motivated by legacy. What do you think 3 titles in 6 years would mean for their legacies in addition to like what this would mean for the organization to be accomplished that?
Obviously with those particular players, they're talking about the Hall of Fame, and that's something that's a motivating, source for them, which is great. Still within the team constructs. Yeah, and I think for the Dodgers, I think it just kind of puts us, on a Mount Rushmore of sports organizations. So there's been a lot of franchises that have done a lot of great things, and right now in this point in time, we're just fortunate to be a part of a great organization. We got to do our part.
Now, obviously, both these transactions went your way, but like you guys have you and the Blue Jays have kind of fought for Shohei Ohtani and Roki Sasaki the last couple of years. So what do you think about sort of maybe like the sliding doors of these two teams being the two teams to square off in the World Series with those two guys so prominent for you guys?
Yeah, obviously, we're very fortunate to have both those players. I think that they really feel good about their decisions to sign with us. But yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays ultimately got back to the World Series first time in, since 1990 or whenever it was. But yeah, that's a good question, good debate. But like you said, I'm happy that we won out and they chose us.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question from Jack Harris. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Dave, with Snell, I mean, how much did his return and then ability to pitch at the level he did over the last couple weeks of the season kind of change the way you guys viewed the rotation? I mean, obviously last year you had Tyler was back at that point, and Shohei was building up, but did having Blake kind of reach this level kind of change just how much you guys could rely on that group and how dominant that they've been here over this last month?
Yeah, absolutely. With every great starting staff, you got to have that anchor. And, Blake's always been a finisher. And so, obviously starting the way the season started, but to have him get back to pitch the way he did sort of raised the bar for everyone. I thought got Yamamoto even better, got Glass even better, Shohei. And it just allowed for us to, not only prevent kind of a few game losing streaks, but to just win games, win series and, win 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, things like that. So it was really good to see our starting pitching in particular, push one another. And they were certainly the reason, we played so well in September.
And then one more just on like the dynasty topic. I mean, I know you said you haven't really vocalized that this year. I know guys have been focused on just winning this year, but have you sensed it all, them sensing just the opportunity of getting to play for a team that is going for a third title in such a short period of time and is getting the opportunity to win back to back? I mean, has that been something that you can feel the guys sensing as part of what's made this season so meaningful?
You know what, Jack? I don't know. And I can honestly say, I would say that that's not the case, which doesn't sound like it makes sense. But personally, I want to win this one in 25 as much as I wanted to win any of them. And I think that I feel the players feel the same way. And, the legacy dynasty talk, a lot of that I feel is meant for other people that aren't playing, and let them have those debates where it's our job to kind of put those topics on the table, and we have an opportunity to do that. So yeah, right now we're just focused on the Blue Jays, and we need to play good baseball. And then, hopefully we put that topic of, legacy on the table for many people to debate.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question's from Megan Garcia. Go ahead.
Hey Dave, what have you seen out of Freddie this postseason at the plate compared to last year?
Well, he's not hobbled, which is a good thing. I think he's close. I think he's certainly seen some really good pitching, and guys are pitching him, teams are pitching him very carefully. And so he's hanging in there. I still think his at-bats are competitive, and he's certainly not pleased with the performance up to this point. But, every time he gets in the box, I feel good. So I expect him to really have a nice series, this next one.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll take one more. Go ahead now, Yuki.
Hi, Dave. Speaking of Shohei, will he start in Game 3 or Game 4? And is there a possibility he could pitch in relief later in the series?
We haven't decided on Game 3 or Game 4, and as far as the relief, we just got to see how the series plays out. So right now, we just haven't made that decision.
I have another question.
Yes.
He left in his NLCS MVP trophy in the clubhouse and put a card on it. That's a team effort. What did that mean to you?
Well, for me, it's not a surprise because Shohei is such a great teammate. And, that award was a team effort. Shohei had a huge game in Game 4, but he realized that games 1, 2, and 3, you could have had Snell, Yamamoto, Edman, any one of those guys, Teoscar, be a team MVP. So it was just good for him to recognize that. And that just shows, what a great teammate Shohei is.